Welcome back to NextGen 2050 Tow. Today we step inside America's newest construction robot, and it's unlike anything ever built.
Ten stories of steel and hydraulics built to reshape how America builds passing, and no one has seen it move yet. These aren't ordinary attachments. Each cone conceals a system engineers spent years refining before this machine ever left the yard. Before we uncover how this giant was built, we're going inside it first, the town, into the machine itself. The climb into the command cabin reveals the first hint of just how much technology is packed into this shell. From here, one operator controls a machine that would once have needed an entire construction crew to run. Every cone head is monitored independently, feeding data back to a system built to prevent failure before it happens.
Sitting up here, you realize this cabin was designed like the cockpit of something built to fly, not dig.
Beneath the cabin, a maze of hydraulic vanes carries pressure powerful enough to drive 10 cutting heads at once. Engineers built redundancy into every line here, because a single failure at this scale could shut the whole system down. These tracks were engineered to distribute the machine's full weight evenly, letting it move across ground that would swallow ordinary vehicles. Behind the armor plating sits a power core, capable of running every cutting head at full force simultaneously. What looks like simple drill bits from outside conceals a rotating internal gear system engineers spent months perfecting. This isn't a prototype sitting in a showroom. This machine has already been tested against real ground. Hidden inside the chassis, a service corridor lets technicians reach systems that would be impossible to access from outside. Sensors along the roofline give this machine a constant awareness of everything moving around it. This isn't blind machinery time. It's a system built to sense its environment before it ever takes a single cut.
Every inspection here feeds back into a growing data set. The machine is learning from its own operators.
Each cone head pivots independently, letting the machine adapt its cutting pattern to uneven or unpredictable terrain. We've now seen the machine from the inside out the same, but the real story starts long before it ever stood here.
Before any operation begins, dozens of automated checks confirm every system is ready to move.
Listen to that, Borel. The cutting heads are powering up for the first time today, and you can feel the ground shift.
Each rotation is calculated by onboard software, adjusting speed to match the density of the material ahead. The whole chassis flexes under load mend, a deliberate design choice that prevents catastrophic stress fractures over time. A second engineer constantly tracks heat distribution, ready to intervene the instant any component runs too hot. Cooling fluid circulates through nearly every major component, keeping the machine stable even under maximum load. Ground crews coordinate constantly with the operator above, forming a tightly synchronized human and machine partnership. Even at rest, repositioning this machine takes careful calculation. Every movement shifts tons of distributed weight. The operator doesn't just see the yard, above, the machine builds a digital map of it in real time.
This machine is literally building a map of the ground beneath it before it ever makes a move.
Hundreds of individual valves work together to distribute force exactly where each cutting head needs it most. A single red light anywhere in this chain would halt the entire system instantly, before any damage could occur.
Manual override systems exist for exactly this reason. Full control can shift from automation to human hands in seconds.
The spacing between cutting heads can be adjusted on the fly, letting one machine adapt to entirely different job requirements.
We've now seen this machine breathe, move, and think armed. But its story began years earlier, on an engineer's drawing board.
Every panel on this machine started as thousands of individual calculations, tested long before any steel was cut.
Simulations predicted exactly where stress would concentrate, letting designers reinforce the frame before a single weld was made.
It's incredible to think this entire machine existed as lines on paper before it ever touched the ground.
Dozens of engineering teams worked in parallel, each solving one piece of a machine too complex for any single mind. Before full-size production began, every cutting head was prototyped at scale to test its geometry against real material samples. Thousands of test cycles determined the exact angle and hardness needed for these heads to survive real-world conditions.
Even the cabin's angular shape was refined through repeated testing to reduce resistance and improve operator visibility.
Engineers deliberately simulated failure after failure, building safeguards into the design long before real hydraulics existed. The brain of this machine was built one circuit at a time, long before the chassis around it existed. The control software was tested in thousands of virtual scenarios before it ever controlled a real hydraulic system.
This exact machine existed in simulation thousands of times before engineers ever risked building the real thing.
Every design decision needed formal approval before moving from simulation into physical production. No, the torque on the drive shaft is insufficient as illustrated.
We reinforce here, yes?
Yes, but this adjustment throws off the balance of the conical assemblies.
Let me mark the required correction.
The exact alloy chosen for this frame had to balance strength against weight across every possible operating condition.
Once every calculation was finalized, the design left the drawing board taluming and entered the world of raw material.
This machine's frame began as raw steel, heated past 1,000 degrees before it ever took shape.
Each pass through these rollers compresses the steel denser, building the strength this frame will eventually need. Controlled cooling determines the final hardness of every plate that will eventually form this machine's armor.
Laser cutters trace the exact panel shapes designed months earlier, accurate to a fraction of a millimeter.
Every one of those angled panels on the machine started as flat steel, cut exactly like this.
The machine's angular armor design isn't just aesthetic, Each faceted panel deflects impact more efficiently than flat steel ever could.
Thousands of individual panels need to be organized precisely, each one destined for an exact position on the final chassis.
Each cutting cone begins as a solid steel block, forged under thousands of tons of pressure into its final form.
Precision machining shaves the forged cone down to the exact geometry engineers calculated months earlier. This rapid quenching locks in the hardness needed for these cones to cut through dense ground repeatedly without wearing down.
Every batch of hardened steel is tested at the microscopic level before it's approved for use on the machine.
Each crawler track link is welded with robotic precision, repeated thousands of times to build the full track assembly. Hundreds of individual links combine into a single track loop, strong enough to carry the machine's entire weight. The hydraulic cylinders that will eventually power the boom are assembled under conditions as clean as a surgical room.
This single piston will help move tons of steel once it's installed to PEL, and it's machined to almost perfect precision.
Every hydraulic component is stress-tested individually before it's ever allowed near the final assembly line.
The engine that will eventually drive this entire machine is built and tested completely separate from the chassis itself.
Dozens of sensor systems are pre-installed into modular panels, simplifying the complex wiring that will fill the final cabin. Every exterior panel receives a protective coating designed to resist corrosion across years of harsh outdoor use. Even the color chosen here isn't random here. This matte finish reduces glare for operators working under bright field conditions. Every single panel is scanned for microscopic defects before it's cleared to move toward final assembly.
Every piece we've seen so far now converges in one place,
where this scattered inventory finally becomes one machine.
Assembly begins with the frame, done, the single structure every other system will eventually attach to.
Each track assembly is torqued to an exact specification, checked twice before the machine ever bears its own weight.
Right now, this machine has no cabin, no cones, groans, just the bones. But you can already feel how massive it will become.
Robotic welders complete thousands of precise joints far faster and more consistently than manual welding ever could. Lowering an engine this size into place requires 2 cranes working in perfect synchronization to avoid catastrophic misalignment. Hundreds of individual connections link the engine to the hydraulic network that will eventually power every moving part.
The cabin, the cued the machine's command center of formies, is one of the final major structures to be joined to the frame. Once secured, the cabin becomes structurally part of the machine itself, engineered to withstand the same stresses as the frame. Kilometers of wiring connect the cabin's controls to every sensor and hydraulic valve throughout the machine.
Laser alignment ensures the boom sits at the exact angle engineers calculated months earlier during simulation testing.
These cylinders will bear the full force of the cutting operation, so their mounting tolerance is measured in millimeters.
One by one, the 10 cutting heads are mounted, each calibrated individually before the next is installed.
That's the last cone head going on right now. After everything we've seen, this machine is finally whole.
The armor panels we saw cut and coated weeks earlier now finally return to cover the machine's exposed internals.
Even small components like the light bar go through the same rigorous installation checks as the machine's major systems.
The final branding touch marks this machine as ready to leave the assembly hall for the first time.
For the first time, every system we've followed individually now exists together, inside one complete machine. This is the moment months of design and weeks of assembly finally converge into a single powered-on system. Thousands of individual components must confirm they're functioning correctly before the machine is cleared for its first movement.
This first movement, however small, confirms that every mechanical system built over months now works together as intended.
Engineers monitor every gauge carefully during this first lift, ready to shut the system down at the smallest anomaly.
Hearing every cutting head move in sync for the first time is the moment engineers have worked toward for years.
That sound you're hearing right now is history, the cam. The very first time this entire machine has moved as one.
What began as raw steel and blueprints now rolls into daylight as a fully assembled machine, ready for deeper testing.
Beneath the surface, an entire infrastructure network exists just to support machines like this one during testing.
This hidden hub feeds real-time diagnostics to engineers monitoring the machine from a separate control room nearby.
Every sensor reading generated by the machine feeds into servers, analyzing performance patterns far beyond what any operator could track alone.
This back-end monitoring system is what Orlem's engineers to predict maintenance needs before any part actually fails.
That trend line is dipping.
Hidden cooling infrastructure keeps not just the machine, but its entire support network stable during long testing cycles. Behind every hour this machine operates sits an entire logistics chain, delivering exactly the fluids it needs to run.
Constant surveillance ensures both the machine and everyone working near it remain safe throughout every test cycle.
This monitoring system caught an issue human observers might have missed entirely, stopping a small problem before it grew.
This is exactly why hidden infrastructure matters. It turns a potential failure into a 5-minute fix.
None of this back-end system is visible from outside, but without it, this machine could never operate safely.
With every hidden system confirmed, the machine now faces its most demanding test yet: full operational stress.
This stress test pushes every system to its designed limit, confirming the machine can perform under real-world conditions.
This stress test.
Throughout this test, dozens of safety systems remain armed, ready to shut everything down at the first sign of stress.
Passing this test confirms months of engineering decisions were correct, from raw steel selection to final assembly.
Looks good.
Readings are stable.
Every single reading from this test feeds back into the design process, refining future machines built from this platform.
With this final approval, the machine officially transitions from prototype testing into real operational service.
What started as a single prototype has now scaled into a growing fleet, ready for deployment across real job sites.
Each machine now begins a journey toward construction sites, where it will finally do the work it was built for.
This is the moment every hidden system, every welded joint, and every simulation was ultimately built toward.
Watching this machine work on a real site confirms it wasn't just built to perform in a factory. No, it was built to build. A single machine like this can now do work that once required an entire fleet of separate heavy equipment. Even as this machine proves itself in the field, engineers are already designing what comes after it.
This machine represents a shift in how America builds. The faster, safer, and guided by systems smarter than ever.
If you think this machine was massive, its impact on the future of construction is going to be even bigger. See you next time.